Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're highlighting a case that took place in Brooklyn, New York, back in August 2015. This case has remained unsolved for nearly a decade and centers around a 27-year-old nursing student who vanished without a trace after leaving a friend's apartment in the dead of night. This is the story of Aliyah Boomer. Aliyah Boomer was born on January 6, 1988. Friends and family knew her by her nickname, Lily. By 2015, at 27 years old, Aliyah was a determined young woman pursuing her dreams of becoming a nurse while studying at college. At the time she disappeared, she lived with her mother in the Sheepshead Bay area of Brooklyn, where she was known for her vibrant personality and distinctive style. Aliyah had multiple tattoos, including her own name, Aliyah, on her left arm, Vicky on her right arm, stars on her wrist and abdomen, a moon on her foot, and a ladybug with the name Kim on her back. Her nose, ears, and navel were pierced, and she often wore her hair naturally in an afro or twist, though sometimes she'd switch it up and wear a wig. Aliyah was the kind of person who stayed in touch with her family, especially her sister. But on a hot summer night in 2015, Aliyah would disappear. August 15th, 2015, a Saturday evening in Brooklyn. Aliyah spent the day at a barbecue in Prospect Park with a friend. It was a typical summer day, warm, social, filled with laughter and good food. After the barbecue ended, Aliyah and her friend headed to the friend's home in the Red Hook houses, specifically the 400 block of Columbia Street. Red Hook houses, which was previously called Red Hook Housing Projects, once was one of New York's most dangerous neighborhoods. But in recent decades, it had been improving and was not nearly as much of a threat, but it still carried some of the weight of its troubled past. As the evening wore on, Aliyah learned about another barbecue happening elsewhere. She wanted to go, but her friend preferred to stay home. At 11 p.m., Aliyah left the apartment alone. She was wearing a black short-sleeve top, multicolored capri pants, and black patent leather Jordan sneakers. That was the last time anyone saw her. Aliyah never made it to the second barbecue. Somewhere between her friend's apartment in Red Hook and her intended destination, she vanished. But the story doesn't end there. At 3 a.m. on August 16th, 4 hours after she left her friend's place, Aliyah's phone made a call. It was her sister's number she was calling. But her sister was asleep, so she didn't answer, and Aliyah didn't leave a message. This 3 a.m. phone call would become one of the most haunting aspects of the case. Where was Aliyah calling from at 3 in the morning? Why was she calling her sister? Was she in trouble? Was it even Aliyah on the other side? That phone call would be the last sign from Aliyah Boomer. Sunday, August 16th, 2015. When Aliyah didn't come home that night, her mother wasn't immediately concerned. Aliyah was 27 years old and had stayed out overnight before. She was an adult living her life. But as Sunday turned to Monday, and Monday approached, August 18th, her sister's birthday, the family began to worry. Aliyah would never miss her sister's birthday. She would never go this long without contacting her family. The woman who was working toward her nursing degree, who maintained such close relationships with her family, who had supposedly called her sister just days earlier, had seemingly vanished from the face of the earth. When the family reported Aliyah missing, the New York Police Department began their investigation. They retraced her last known movements, interviewed her friend from Red Hook, and canvassed the area where she was last seen. But the trail went cold quickly. Red Hook, with its maze of housing projects and limited street lighting, could hide many secrets. The waterfront area, the industrial sections, the numerous places where people could disappear, all became part of the search area. Weeks turned to months, months turned to years, and the case was classified as an endangered missing person, but no substantial leads had emerged. Aliyah's family refused to give up hope, but the silence was deafening. Then, in 2022, 7 years after Aliyah's disappearance, her mother received something that would reignite hope and fear into the case. A mysterious letter arrived in the mail. The letter mentioned something called a lick. Now, initially, Aliyah's mother didn't exactly know what that meant. Through her own research, she learned that in the streets, a lick refers to when people are sent out to sell drugs and things go wrong and they don't show up. The implication was chilling. Was Aliyah somehow involved in a drug deal gone bad? Was she in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was someone just trying to mislead the family and investigators? A professor and retired NYPD sergeant who once led a cold case squad reviewed the letter. His assessment was cautious. He suggested the letter writer could be trying to throw off the family and the investigation. The mystery only deepened. Was this letter a genuine clue from someone who knew what happened to Aliyah? Was it from someone feeling guilty after 7 years of silence? Or was it a cruel hoax designed to torment a grieving family? The letter raised more questions than it answered, but it suggested that maybe somewhere out there, someone knows something. Aliyah's story has been highlighted alongside other missing persons of color to draw attention to many of the disparities that persist. Her family has worked to keep her name in the public eye, creating Facebook pages and working with advocacy groups. But awareness campaigns can't replace the one thing Aliyah's family needs the most: answers. Today, Aliyah would be 37 years old. She might have graduated from nursing school by now. She might have been helping patients, saving lives, making the world a better place. But instead, her family is left with questions, memories, and a mysterious phone call at 3 a.m. that still continues to haunt them to this day. Somewhere in New York, perhaps in Brooklyn, perhaps somewhere else entirely, someone knows what happened to Aliyah Boomer. The Red Hook houses where Aliyah was last seen have continued to evolve over the years. The neighborhood has seen development and gentrification, but the questions about that night in 2015 still remain unanswered. My thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Aliyah Boomer. Her case remains open with the New York Police Department. They continue to follow up on tips and investigate new leads. You can find their contact information in the description box below. Her family continues to hope that someday someone will come forward with the information that could finally bring Aliyah home, or at least provide the answers they've been seeking for nearly a decade. As we close out this episode, don't forget to click the follow button to stay updated on Aliyah's case and others like it. Be sure to subscribe to Hunting for Answers on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more true crime updates. And if you are watching us on YouTube, let us know your thoughts on this case down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.